I watched 12 new movies this month. Let's rank them from worst to best right now. Last place in my list this month has to be Red One because there's no way the standards for Christmas movies has been lowered this much. A 250 million budget blockbuster that doesn't even feel real or look good half the time because that CGI was indeed very rough. The only saving grace that this movie had was J.K. Simmons as Santa Claus was pretty good, but I think Kiernan Shipka as the lead villain was my favorite part because I think that she's great in everything that she does. I'm probably in the minority on this one, but after I got done watching Emilia Perez, I just sat there confused for like a whole 10 minutes being like, what did I just watch? I like the message that they tried to spread, but I think it would have been done better if it wasn't so messy and they just focused on that one message. Like they tried to just make it a lot of different genres and mixing it together, but they just stick to one genre instead of making it like a musical, a comedy, and like a drug cartel action movie. It would have been actually pretty decent, but it just didn't work for me. It will get a lot of, Oscar nominations, but probably only like 1 or 2 wins. As much as I enjoyed Malcolm Washington's direction in The Piano Lesson, I feel like the movies adapted from August Wilson's plays just really haven't worked for me, and this is the third one that has been adapted. I was really moved though by Daniel Deadwyler's performance. I think that she has a strong chance to get a, Oscar nomination, and I'm always impressed by John David Washington and Samuel L. Jackson, of course, is really well known. I think that this is one of his best dramatic performances in a while. I just wish I liked the whole product, as much as I like those couple performances. The best Christmas pageant ever is this month's only good Christmas movie in my eyes, and I left the theater with my heart feeling full and ready for the Christmas season, even though it's only November. The whole ensemble of kids were really funny, even if some of them were pure evil. Like that's the whole part of the movie. These kids are pure evil. They hate everything. Everyone hates them. But after them finding a place to express themselves, and that was the Christmas pageant, and it ended up being a really wholesome movie. Blitz is the newest film from Steve McQueen, and I dare say that it's his weakest film. I still enjoyed it a little bit, even though it's just not great. I thought the performances were really good, especially Saoirse Ronan as always, but I never really latched on to the story in a major way. The real winners in this movie are definitely the sound design, the costume design, and production design, because they all just launch you back in this time period of war and install fear in you while you watch this kid just trying to find his way back to his mother. Moana 2 is definitely weaker than the first entry, and that's basically because it was supposed to be a TV show, but I still had fun. It still has the regular Disney charm and fantastic animation. It just was missing the catchy songs from Lin-Manuel Miranda that made the first one so special. The third act and ending of the movie were the best parts of the film for me, alongside our two main stars coming back as Moana and Maui, who really bring the most charm and charisma to the movie. I'm just a little bit worried about the new live action Moana coming out in 2026. It's hard not to fall in love with a movie like Heretic because it has it all: a snowy setting, Hugh Grant as a villain, 2 final girls, and a fantastic script. I'm not kidding though, I thought Heretic was great, even though it does have a few missteps in the third act, but I do think it finds its footing and ends quite well with some conversations to be needed after watching it. I need Hugh Grant as a villain more because he was eating up all these monologues like no other, and Chloe East and Sophie Thatcher were great themselves with some of their own moments to shine. I went into Wicked as a non-believer and as someone who didn't care about the play, but when I walked out, I became a true believer, and I can't wait for part 2 next year. It's really hard for me to like a musical, but this one has it all except some really bad lighting and coloring issues, but I can look past that because John M. Chu really understood the visuals for this world of Wicked, and I'm sure theater fans will thank him for that. Cynthia Erivo is everything in this movie, truly has a great character arc in this one. She's going to have a great character arc in the second one, but I can't lie and have to say that Ariana Grande just stole the whole show for me. She really was great. I'm so sad and mad at Warner Bros. For botching the release of Juror Number 2 because it's Clint Eastwood's last movie, and it continues to grow on me the more that I think about it. It goes without saying, but I'm going to miss Eastwood and his films because he has never failed to entertain, and Juror Number 2 is no different, where it falls under a simple plot, but his way of making you care for the characters comes through to make the film feel so special. The relationship between Nicholas Hoult and Zoe Deutsch's characters really was the strongest part of the film for me, and I wanted more of them together because the courtroom stuff was was good, but they added so much more needed emotion to this movie. A Real Pain is Jesse Eisenberg's second movie he's directed, and I loved it, and that's come from someone who hated his directorial debut. This one just feels so much more authentic and emotional in so many ways, and it balances a comedy with those emotional sequences very well. I love the themes of pain and just enduring it or choosing to confront it. Jesse Eisenberg was fantastic with one scene at the dinner that just broke my heart into many pieces, but it's Kieran Culkin who stole the show and my heart just like he did in Succession, and I hope that he gets an Oscar nomination. The First Gladiator is one of my favorite movies of all time, so I had high expectations for the sequel, and I know some didn't like it, but I loved it and felt transported back into this world once again. I didn't go in wanting to compare it too much to the first one, so maybe that's why I liked it so much, but I felt like this was Ridley Scott's best work since The Last Duel or even The Martian. The writing is a little rough, but I wanted action, and action is what I got, because this one is infinitely more gory than the first one, and I felt the weight of every single fight scene that we had, and we had a lot of them. Paul Mescal, in my opinion, was really good, but Denzel Washington just had all the aura in this movie. He looked really cool, and every single time he moved his eyes, you really felt that in your own body. And if he does get an Oscar nomination for this role, it will make his role and, character even cooler in my eyes. Anora is the newest film from Sean Baker and my second favorite movie of the year, just behind Dune Part 2. I've seen it twice so far in theaters, and I can't wait for it to hit digital so I can continue to watch it many more times. Sean Baker's movies are just so special and feel so lived in and just feel so real, and that it makes you want to come back for more and more. I think that this is written perfectly from Sean Baker and edited so well by him also. It's sexy, really funny, and by the end, you'll just be heartbroken for the characters of Anora and some other characters, but Anora is played by Mikey Madison. She gives my favorite performance of the year, and I think she's the frontrunner for Best Actress at the Oscars. This is a film that truly lived up to the hype for me and my favorite film of the month. Leave your own rankings down below and make sure to like and subscribe if you did enjoy my ranking. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.